We live in a strange time. For most of human history, people have died trying to get famous. Now, thanks to social media, people will die to get followers, likes, and views. So what is it about these apps that makes them so addictive? And why are they sometimes our worst enemy? Hi, I'm here with Minute Earth. You might think that social media was created to bring us closer together, but that couldn't be further from the truth. Social media was created to make money. And like any good business, it needs to keep you coming back for more. But how do they do that? Well, you can blame it on evolution. You see, our brains are constantly searching for novel stimuli. When something new or interesting pops into our field of vision, our brain's reward center gets a little hit of dopamine, which makes us feel good. Social media has figured out exactly how to hack this system. Every notification, like, comment, or share gives you a little hit of dopamine. And just like drugs, you need more and more of it to feel the same effect. That's why you spend hours scrolling through your feed, even though you know there's nothing new. It's kind of like a gambler at the slot machine. They know they're not going to win, but just in case they do, they pull the lever again and again and again. But it's not just about the design of the apps. The content we consume on social media can also trigger our brain's reward center. Specifically, the videos and posts that evoke a strong emotional response. Whether it's anger, fear, sadness, or joy can make you feel very much alive. And that feeling is highly addictive. In fact, studies show that emotionally charged content goes viral more often than neutral content. That's why you can't stop watching those viral videos of people doing dangerous stunts or getting into massive fistfights on a subway car. The content is designed to shock you and make you feel something, and it works. Researchers found that posts that elicited an emotional response were shared more often than non-emotional posts, which could then spread to other people's feeds. Now, if you're thinking this sounds a lot like the pleasure centers in our brain being hacked, you're right. Social media has basically figured out how to tap into our brain's reward center, hijacking our attention and making us crave that next hit of dopamine. But it's not just about the pleasure hit. We're also getting a hefty dose of information, whether we want it or not. Every time you log onto social media, you're bombarded with information. It seems like every friend has an opinion on everything. And don't forget about all the random accounts that you follow. All of this information can be overwhelming, but our brains have evolved to seek out novelty and process as much information as possible. We're basically built for this. So you might think this is a good thing, but too much information can be a bad thing. For example, researchers peg this phenomenon as one reason for the 2016 election. Back then, fake news and propaganda spread like wildfire on social media, swaying voters' opinions and ultimately influencing the election results. And it's not just elections. Too much information and exposure to controversial topics can cause us to become desensitized to violence, war, and human suffering. Basically, we're becoming less empathetic, and that's not good. So social media can be our worst enemy because it hijacks our brain's reward center and bombards us with information. But there is another reason why social media can be our worst enemy, and it is because it can literally kill us. Seriously, Studies have shown that social media can lead to anxiety, depression, and even suicidal thoughts. And it's not just teenagers. Adults are also affected by using social media too much. One study found that heavy users of Facebook and Instagram were more likely to report symptoms of anxiety and depression than those who used these platforms less. Another study found that excessive use of social media was associated with increased feelings of loneliness and isolation. The bottom line is that social media can have a negative impact on our mental health. But don't worry, you're not alone. There are plenty of others who feel the same way. In fact, some people are so fed up with social media that they've deleted their accounts altogether. But maybe that's not the best idea either. Some research suggests that people who use social media more tend to have more friends and are more socially connected, which can lead to better mental health outcomes. So quitting cold turkey might not be the best option either. Instead, the key is to be aware of how social media is affecting us and to take steps to protect ourselves from its negative effects, like setting healthy boundaries for our use and being mindful of the content we consume. I know it's hard, but if you can resist the urge to check your phone every 5 minutes, your brain will thank you. Speaking of things that can hurt you, did you know that 90% of the world's coral reefs are at risk of being destroyed?